Hello, I'm Daniel Frankel, co-founder and CEO of Next TMT. Today, we're pleased to be launching an extension of the brand, Next TMT Networks, in collaboration with longtime telecom technology reporter Dan Jones. Since we launched Next TMT in October of 2024, we had the agenda of holistically covering technology, media, and telecom. And if you've been following David Bloom, another partner, and myself, we cover media and technology a lot. Telecom, not as much. It's not so much in our wheelhouse. There's a lot going on in that sector with government policy, satellite, AI, roiling it along with everything
Hmm.
else. It's a good time to expand into it. So we formed a partnership with Mr. Jones here, and we're going to try to extend the brand with Next TMT Networks, which you're tuned in here today. Dan, how's it going?
Great, thank you.
One thing I didn't mention, we view it as an opportune time. There are alternatives for getting this type of news and information. A lot of them owned by private equity, a lot of them exploring AI content
Mhm.
and focused on big events as opposed to publishing and news and content. And we consider ourselves boutique and experienced and focused on that still. So away we go. So, Dan, this is your first issue. It seems like you're diving pretty headlong into satellite internet, low Earth orbit satellite Earth, that courtesy of Elon
Yep.
Musk. Maybe why the deep dive now? Maybe you can start us off here.
Well, because, the Starlink and SpaceX IPO is just coming up, June 12th, I believe, and that's
Right.
gonna be a major IPO, clearly, and what happens after that is kind of what I tackled in my first piece, which is basically, how are they gonna make the network work beyond rural and remote areas? Because you couldn't make the network work, the satellite network work in rural and remote areas. But if once you've got a building with concrete and steel, you're not going to
Right.
be able to get the
If
signal.
you live in Manhattan, you can't get a dish
Yeah,
and
you
just
you
say, I won't have. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you can get a dish, but you can't put a dish on your phone. Clearly, so
Right.
it's not really a going concern.
So my deep dive into it from afar was that this $1.75 trillion valuation, which SpaceX and Elon Musk seek for their IPO,
Yep.
is driven by Starlink. Starlink's creating most of the income at this point or generating it.
Yep.
And without Starlink, you don't have this ambitious dream.
No. Also, Musk is trying to bring all of his AI company into the fold as well. So
Yeah.
don't know how that's actually going to work per se, but that's how things go. These
A lot at a lot at stake. A lot has happened recently that AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon have all said they don't want to be an MNO partner
no
to.
MVNO, yeah, a mobile virtual network operator, which is the way that Starlink would get to be able to use a network without having to pay to roll out a network. So that's
So all the spectrum that they bought, I think they paid $17 billion. The FCC put a gun to Charlie Ergen's head and said, "Hey, sell your spectrum to my friend Elon here,"
yeah.
and they did. So they have all that spectrum they can use. Is the plan to launch their own network, terrestrial network, or are they going to just use this as leverage, enticement to get either Verizon, T-Mobile, or AT&T to climb aboard?
Well, they could try, but I don't. Certainly, T-Mobile doesn't seem to be keen on having on operating as an MVNO for them, and you would think they would be the main ones that would have been keen because they've got the partnership, the actual satellite partnership with them. But they just said that people aren't using it as much as we we thought they would, and that
Right.
they're clearly the operators are becoming more nervous about giving Elon too much power in this respect in regard.
The FCC doesn't seem as
No,
concerned about
no,
that.
no, clearly.
So, This is one of several topics you'll be diving
Yeah,
into.
yeah.
What do you think we can expect to get into early on as we get this thing started?
Well, I was also thinking of doing stuff on AI RAN pretty much
Yeah,
pretty soon because that
tell me about that. I don't know what that is.
it's basically like people are using AI, but it's actually machine learning. It's not really any kind of artificial intelligence. It's actually machine learning to smooth out the way that base stations work. So basically managing workflows and stuff at the base station.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's that's going to be a very kind of big deal in the back end of this year because Nvidia, another major player that wants to break into the telecom scene and is using its money to try and do that, investing a couple billion in Nokia last year, and of trying to kind of crack their way into the telecom scene, but they want people to use what they call GPUs to do the telecom machine learning kind of stuff to actually do what they're calling AI RAN. And I don't think that many operators are actually keen on doing that. Again, possibly
right.
T-Mobile, maybe, but we'll see once they've actually done the testing of the AI RAN stuff, which is going to happen, as I say, at the back end or from maybe from the fall to the end of the year.
Hmm.
But people are also already kind of using Intel Grand Rapids kind of stuff to use a core to run machine learning kind of stuff for AI RAN. So there's basically going to be a big kind of turf war between Intel, Nvidia, and all the operators around that. Don't know how it's going to play out exactly yet, but that's going to be something to watch for the rest of the year, I imagine.
So on that backdrop, you already had cable operators who are trying to be wireless
Yep,
companies.
yep,
Wireless
absolutely.
companies are trying to be fixed internet
Yeah,
companies to
yeah,
compete with cable.
yep,
Dog and cat sleeping together.
yep.
You've been doing this for a
I
while.
have.
You worked for Light Reading for a stretch,
Uh,
which is a
18
pretty
years,
well
I think it was.
respected,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and you worked at Fierce Network, so you've been around. Is
You
this
could
in
say
your
that. Yeah.
stretch? Me too, me too. Here it's an asset. We like to say on the flagship side, we go back 5 Time Warner mergers,
Right.
so to AOL. So in your experience, is this the most disruptive time that you've seen in terms of just new market entrants coming in and threatening to change everything? It seems like Musk, when you're a trillionaire, they let you do it. I mean, he's
Yes.
coming in and
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean it's definitely one of the most disruptive times. I mean, I started in New York around the kind of .com bubble, and that was a very disruptive time as well. But this is equally as disruptive and could have more effect on everyday people's lives because obviously a lot of people are getting kind of turfed out of their jobs because of AI. So we'll see how it all plays out.
yeah, I've read a little bit about that.
Right.
So I also read that Starlink is looking at the whole handset issue. So even these dominant Android iOS paradigm seems like it over the next 3 or 4 years could be up for grabs,
Yeah,
no? Or
possibly. I mean, I did do something on this well, not a long time ago, but maybe like 4 or 5 years ago for E Times around it was then Tesla that was supposed to build the kind of Starlink phone that was going to connect from space, that
right.
kind of stuff. But again, you can't really break the laws of physics. Even if you're a billionaire, it doesn't matter.
They don't let you do it.
No, they can't let you
Uh,
do it.
so have you reviewed the gold Trump phone? Is that something that's,
I've seen it, or I've seen people
yeah,
holding it. It seems to be a very low grade. Android phone made in China. So I don't know what to really say about it
China.
beyond that.
Yeah. Was that what did he talk about that when he introduced it? I don't remember. I don't remember him saying it's made in China.
I no, they were saying it was going to be made in America, but then they kind of said it was made with American values in mind. So that's kind of like a little nice little dodge there.
Again, physics, factories located
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
consumers over here.
No, I know.
So
You certainly can't open a
all right.
factory that
Any other pressing stories over the next few weeks we should look at?
I'm probably gonna ask people like Verizon and maybe T-Mobile if I can see their stadiums ahead of the World Cup, which isn't
Oh,
really that far ahead, but the definitely Verizon's king of, at least to my mind, Verizon's the king of the stadium right now. They've done lots of stuff in New Jersey around what's called millimeter wave 5G, which is very fast 5G and very suitable for using in that particular environment because you're sitting in one place. It's a short distance from your phone to the base station, and so it can deliver massive amounts of data down the line. They've been very religious about rolling out advanced 5G stuff for New Jersey and things like that.
yeah. I talked to Verizon at NAB, National Association of Broadcasters out here, and they were talking about for some reality production on Fox how they created a Hunger Games setup where all these remote tower receivers communicate, I guess, millimeter wave signal back and forth with each other, and they could capture anything that happened in the arena, which was
Yeah, yeah.
a survival show that was out in the wilderness. So they had things in trees and whatnot. But with stadiums, it seems like there's leagues and teams have figured out that social media is important to
Oh,
them.
yeah.
It's great marketing, and when you have groups that are unable to get their message out while they're consuming, you're missing out a lot. And FIFA doesn't seem like the type of organization that leaves money on the
No, they
table.
won't. They clearly won't.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, this is great. I'm going to read through this issue right now before everybody else. I get that
Okay.
privilege. We'll wind this down. Dan, anything else to add before we move on to the next one?
Not right now, but I'm looking forward to it.
Right. Joining the space next week, Dan's going to have Mike Dano, who I used to work with. He's now a big shot at Ookla, which, how would you describe them? They're a analytics firm or?
Yeah, they're an analytics firm that started as kind of Ookla speed test, which,
Right.
but they've gone well beyond that now. So they were just like a network speed test, and now they've gone more into talking all about everything. And I used some of their info for the piece I just did, but they're talking about satellites. They're talking about 5G speeds. They're talking about how the networks work across the world right now, not just even the states, across the world. So
Right. A lot of performance analytics on important things like Starlink,
oh yeah, yeah,
how
yeah,
big improvements understand through their research in places like the North America,
yep,
in Europe, which makes a big competitive difference as you try to take over the world.
oh yeah,
So, okay, I'll leave you to it. It's getting late on the East Coast. Dan's New York based. I'm
yep.
LA based. Daniel Frankel, co-founder and CEO of Next TMT, on behalf of Next TMT Networks editor Dan Jones, joining us here today. Thank you for joining us,
Thank you.
and see you next week.